Well, welcome to another edition of Sports Blab. Say, I hope you're staying safe with the world of COVID-19 coronavirus. Hope you're wearing the mask, wash your hands, social distancing. That's the way we defeat this thing. So now that I've done my public service part, let's talk some sports here, okay? Bear with me just a second here. We know there's not a lot going on in the world of sports, right? Nothing's playing, but chess is still going. I got to tell you, so I want to talk a little bit about chess, maybe even a little bit about tennis, baseball, football, all the rest of the sports. Just kind of do a survey of the state of what's going on in the world of sports. So as you know, the Magnus Invitational Chess Tournament just ended last week. Magnus Carlsen won his own tournament. Of course, it makes sense. He's the number one champion, number one guy in the world. It was the first ever unique online format with the top players like that. They had cameras where they live so they can't cheat, all that stuff, and they wouldn't cheat. It was like five of the guys that were playing in the candidates tournament were in this tournament. You had Karuna, you had Carlsen was it? You had Nakamura. He's the world's fastest player. It came down to Carlsen and Nakamura. The prize fund was 250 grand. The winner got 70 grand. Carlsen won it, so he got the 70. And Nakamura won it. He got the 45 grand. Not bad for a couple weeks' work, right? But the key thing is, whether you agree that chess is a sport or not, it was an online event. I'll just call it that, sport. I'm going to call it sport. Two people competing, top players in the world. It got a peak audience of 114,000, which is quite frankly really well for a chess tournament, especially of that kind. So now this week, just a few days later, they have the FIDE sponsored chess.com. The Magnus Invitational Chess Tournament was on chess24.com. This new tournament is called the FIDE Online Nations Cup. It's players, 7 players from 6 different nations, 6 different areas of the world. That's a better way to put it. Duking it out with each other, and it's a team competition. So you have China, you have Europe, you have the United States, you have Russia, you have rest of the world, you have there's one more. That's all you need to know. You can look it up, chess.com. Anyways, again, Carlsen isn't playing, Grishuk isn't playing, but everybody else is playing. Karuna, Maxime Vassier, Legrave is playing, and I still can't say his name, the Russian guy, Ian Nepomniachtchi. Anyways, the top guys are playing. Anand Viswanathan from India, the former world champ. He's still way up there. He's a super GM. They're all playing. And the other thing is that it's like a 6-day event. So it's 4 boards play a day. And what they do is each day they play 2 rounds. So it's 10 rounds of this round robin format. And then when it's all over, the 2 best teams play each other for the championship on May 10th. But it's really fun because I can switch. They got announcers. They got, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games going on at a time. You can just switch between them and see what's going on. But it's really fun. It's FIDE sponsored, which is the chess organization, the whole world, the main one, and it's a prize fund of $180,000. And get this, Gary Kasparov, is it Kasparov or Kasparov? I think he says Kasparov, is a captain, an advisor to Team Europe. He's a captain. So they have captains for all these different teams. That makes it even more fun. Kasparov doesn't like to lose. He's not playing. He's their captain, but he's going to kick their butt and say, get it going. Do this. This is a better way to do that. It just makes it more fun. What else is there to do in this world? It gives you a break from reality and just sit and have fun. And if you're like me, I love to play chess. I play online. I'm watching these games. It's really cool. But chess lends itself well to online. You're not going to fill, as Kasparov said, you're not going to fill an arena, a stadium with people watching people play chess. Oh, that's the other nice thing. And the Magnus Carlsen Invitational, the Magnus Invitational, modified format. So it was a sort of a semi-rapid. Each game was 15 minutes with a 10-minute increment. And in that case, each round, they played the other guy 4 times. In this one, each match is 25 minutes with a 10-second increment. So it's rapid type of thing. So, and then more than, obviously more than one person from a team is playing at any one time. So It's modified, so it's more built for online. Nobody wants to sit and watch a classical game for 3, 4 hours at a shot, right? It's tough. It's sort of like when I went to tennis in the Laver Cup. They go to a Grand Slam that could last 4, 4.5 hours. But Laver Cup was like the all-star of tennis. It's a fabulous event. I went to Chicago. The matches are best 2 out of 3, and the third set's a 10-pointer, and they have doubles. It just goes quicker, and you get to see more people doing more stuff, and it moves at a better pace. That's what these new tournaments are. Both the Magnus Invitational and the chess.com online Nations Cup, say that fast 3 times, are both novel. There's been chess tournaments for a long time, but not like this with the top players with some big prize money. In fact, I remember back in the day in the 90s and early 2000s, Kasparov, I'm just going to say Kasparov, he would rail about there's just not enough money in chess. Now they're starting it is. And why? Online. Online. People love to pay tournaments. I pay like $29 a year to join chess.com for the premium, whatever. It's cheap, it's fun. It's not the same as face to face. I still like playing chess over the board better. But in lieu of that, in a coronavirus environment, it's fantastic, and these tournaments are fantastic. But let's talk the rest of the sports. I mentioned tennis. Let's talk about tennis. They're one sport where you can't do it online. You have to be there in person. So are they going to go to a model where no crowds? They could. I mean, they could get away with it. I mean, people play at the courts over at the high school all the time with no crowds. And let's face it, in the world of sports, the major money is on TV. If you notice that the TV revenue for the NBA tripled, and so the salaries went from 20, 25 a year for a top guy, maybe 30 on a good day. Now that's chump change. Now it's 40, 45, 50 a year. Why? One word, TV. So in the world of tennis, Novak Djokovic has come out and said if they develop a Corona-19 or COVID-19 vaccine and they require us, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take the vaccine. For whatever his belief system is, he doesn't want a vaccine. And he says if the ATP, which is the men's tennis body, says you have to in order to play in tournaments, I'm not going to do it. I don't know how they resolve that conflict. They kind of need each other. I mean, Djokovic needs to kind of play, and the ATP kind of needs him because he's the world's #1. He's just killing it. I don't know how the other players feel. I know he and Federer and Nadal were talking about trying to raise funds for those lower tennis players that don't make much or scraping a living, Challenger Cup, whatever. And Dominic Thiem said, nah, man, I had to go through what they go through. Why should we give them any extra help? Well, what do you think? I think it's okay. If somebody wants to help, you should accept it. Why not? Help your fellow man. Anyways, so on to the other sports. In South Korea, they've started their baseball leagues up again, their professional leagues, with nobody in the stands. And again, TV is the big driver. So are we going to do that here? And what do you think? Will you like it? It won't be the same if you're at the stadium, even watching on TV, you hear the roar of the crowds. Woo! It's just not going to be the same. And even the players say it. When there's a crowd, it's a different environment. It can get them going, get their adrenaline going, pump them up, all that stuff, and boo the opponents, boo, just like they booed the commish. Speaking of TV ratings, the NFL draft set a record for ratings for their draft show. And again, they didn't have the big crowds in the week of festivities. What else was there to do? And did you notice the commish? You got to boo the commish, hashtag boo the commish. Kind of funny. At least he's got a sense of humor. And the NFL started laying staff off, and what are they going to do? Okay, all these sports, baseball, football, it's not the same playing empty. It's like a pickup game against really good players. But the revenue, okay, the major revenue is TV, and the TV revenue will be more, I would guess, because more people are watching because nobody's going to the games. But the in-stadium revenues that go to zilch. What about these salary caps? What if there's a delay in starting everything? Okay, salary caps and a lot of these sports, football, baseball, players get a revenue of the income. Well, what if the income is like way down? So are players going to take less money, like half, to play that year? Or are they just going to be let go? Are they going to refuse to play unless they get paid full amount? And these owners are on the hook with these guaranteed contracts. How is that going to work out? So there's so many things going on. It's just going to be as mysterious as the coronavirus to figure it all out. What do you think? Over and out. Sports Blab. Oh, just a little PS here. You know how traditionally in chess it's been a poor man's game. You know, these top players are driving old beater cars, scraping a living, barely paying rent, barely eating, no sleep, whatever. Don't feel so sorry for them anymore today. I started looking up what some of these guys are worth. A lot of these guys, Carlson, Grishuk, Karuna, 8 to 13 million. Nakamura, Hikaru Nakamura, good Lord. If I'm reading it right, and I've checked a couple different places, they all say the same thing. He's worth 45 to 50 million dollars. How do you make that kind of money on chess? I'll tell you, online. Nakamura has a YouTube streaming channel so people can watch him play chess and listen to his thought process. He speaks, of course. And online is where it's at, and that's probably where he's killing it. Plus, he's a dang good, he's the world's #1 blitz player. He's #4 in Rapid. Currently, he's number 18 in Classical, which is the longer game, and he used to at one point be 2 or 4 or something like that. But he's cleaning up on online. A lot of these guys are. Magnus Carlsen just got a big sponsorship deal, so don't feel so sorry for chess players. Online is what's been a boondoggle for them. My only regret is I wish I was one of them.